And we are back. Pokemon Ruby, Hardcore Nuzlocke, the run continues. We're going to take on Team Magma Maxi in this video, as well as Flannery for that 4th gym badge. Let's see if we can do it without losing anybody. For our Route 111 encounter, it is going to be the Machop. Throw the Ultra Ball and secure him. And then for our fiery path encounter, it is going to be the little Numel. I was hoping for the big bad Torkoal, the big tortoise, but I will take the Numel, throw the Ultra Ball, and add it to the PC. And then for our Route 113 encounter, where all the volcanic ash is falling and all the spindas are located, we actually run into the Sandshrew and secure it and add it to the roster. For our Route 114 encounter, it is going to be the Swablu, potentially an Altaria later on. Chuck the Ultra Ball and secure it. Have you ever seen a deathless run where you pull up the hardcore Nuzlocke, you're just doing your thing, you're letting all of your Pokemon, go out in front, and you're just chilling, and then you realize that you're leaving a pure poison type against a ground type, and you let go of the speed button just in time to realize that a deathless run is no longer a deathless run once someone dies. Can you believe that? Because I can't. There goes Gulpin, 1 down, and hopefully not many to follow. Rest in peace, little buddy. And then for our Meteor Falls encounter, it is going to be the little Zubat. Add yet another Pokemon to the ever-expanding team. Alright, after leveling up a ton of Pokemon in the absence of that Gulpin, as we've lost our first Pokemon in this run, we are trying to not repeat what we did in our Sapphire run against Archie, where we lost 5 out of our 6 Pokemon here. This time it is Maxi instead, throws out the Mighty Unit, we answer with the Tsunamori, our little Aron here, and we got the Steel Rock. It's going to stop the bite damage a little bit there, but bite is special, so we got to watch out for that. The Sand Attack comes down. We're trying to get a Metal Claw, but we miss. Another bite rains down, and we flinch. That is unfortunate, and yet another stab bite and another flinch. This fight is not going the way we would want it to. We do have 2 fighting types that we can potentially pivot into, but we're actually going Shinya, the Linoon, who tanks a neutral bite there, but we go in with the headbutt, returning the flinch. Oh my goodness, but the bite damage is coming in, so that wasn't great. And if I'm remembering correctly, I do believe for a moment there I thought I was fighting Archie from Sapphire, which is why I didn't want to throw out my Combuskin, because I knew that Sharpedo would be a really good answer into him, and then I'd have to swap around anyway, and you don't want Sharpedo to get out of hand. And then I didn't want to swap into Breloom, who's 4 times to flying, who had the Crobat. But anyways, back to the fight here. 2 people are chunked, and now I am nervous that Camerupt will use a ground type move or something that could really damage the rubber chicken there, but it went for tackle, and we would have been just fine, and then we tank a neutral or a stab Ember from Kagari here, the Crobat, and we did not tank that very well. So now we're at 3 Pokemon under 50%, not looking great. We've only cleared the Mightyena, and now we're working on the Chubby Camel, and we are just going back into Kogami, so not making great decisions. We tanked the Ember pretty decently, but now I'm like, okay, now we're at 40 HP. What are we doing? And we're just going to go in with a double kick, which does decent damage, but leaves Camerupt with just a little bit of health left, and that is now in Super Potion range, and Maxi getting the Camel to a much better space, tanks another double kick, and if this doesn't kill, it does. It gets a fadeaway critical. You'll love to see it. And now we are down to the final Pokemon here, and it is going to be the Golbat, level 24. I think I keep calling Golbat Crobat, but that is okay. And now we have 2 Pokemon at full health, and basically everyone else is in 1 or 2 shot range of this Golbat, so he is primed and ready to go. We're going to have to tank a stab, wing attack, and it is a critical hit on Arita, and now 5 Pokemon are bleeding out, and the only one at full HP is 4 times to flying, can potentially die to 1 wing attack. Aron tanks that like it's nothing, tanks a bite on top of that, but it's a critical hit and gets us into the red. Tsunamori is hurting, potentially going to bleed out here. We're going to look at the roster and see who can tank anything from Golbat potentially. So I actually go into Shinya hoping that we can get some flinches from the headbutt stab, and another critical hit comes down, and we can't get a flinch because Golbat has inner focus, so all for naught. And now we are really in a bad spot to where we could just potentially wipe if the Golbat gets any more crits. If Golbat gets any more flinch locks with its bite, it is just doing so much work right now, and this does not look like I've won like 9 hardcore Nuzlocks in a row. This looks like I am an absolute noob. I am a novice. I'm going all in for a Leech Seed, and we live on 1 HP. Akira gets the Leech Seed, and now we can heal back and potentially swap into a different Pokemon who can heal from the Leech Seed and tank another move. So we're going back into Tsunamori with the Steel Rock typing. The Super Potion comes down, but the Leech Seed will give us some reprieve, and Golbat is now 1v5 taking on the world. And what are we going to do? We tank a bite. It doesn't crit. Thankfully, we get a headbutt chip damage on top with the Leech Seed. We just healed to 20 HP. Another bite comes out, and it's got to be the 4th critical from the Golbat. Headbutt just barely chipping away with the Leech Seed on top. We are at 12 HP. We've got to live with 3 HP, but we flinch. Tsunamori holding on with the Leech Seed, and Golbat has nothing left. We tank one more bite, and then we flinch again, but the Leech Seed with the fade. Breloom tipping its hat and absolutely clutching. We have lost Gulpin. We have lost Linoone, and that is 2 down, and we still have to fight Flannery. Are you serious? And we have arrived at the 4th gym against Flannery and her 3 Fire-type Pokemon. We're going to be running the little Camel here, Numel, and I think we're going to do just fine with the ground typing matching up against the fire types. Then we have Combuskin to swap into, who has the fire typing, who can potentially resist. Unfortunately, most of these are males who are going to fall under the attract spell from the Torkoal, so we need to watch out for that. But overall, I think we have a solid team of 6 that is ready to deal with Flannery and whatever she has to offer. So here we go. Let's dive right in. As you saw, we've lost, I believe, 2 Pokemon so far just in this video, so it is no longer a deathless run. But let's see if we can turn this around, get things back on track with this fight. So Slugma comes down. We've got K the Numel, and I think we just roll the magnitude. If we can get 7+ on all of these, we're going to be looking fantastic, especially if we can roll some really high ones against the Tortoise. So Slugma comes down once again. A pretty underwhelming first 2 Pokemon, but it's just a distraction from how good the Torkoal really is. So I don't mind that. If you got 2 kind of just throwaway Pokemon, but then the ace is as good as Torkoal is, then I'm all for it. So here we go. This is the fight. It is the Torkoal, and I believe we just roll the magnitudes and just try to go toe-to-toe and see what happens. So we get a nice magnitude 8 from K here. It's going to get Torkoal to half, and even if this paralyzes, it doesn't matter now. Are we willing to risk the Numel's life for an 8+ roll? And I think we are, because that way we're not dealing with the attract spell. That way we're not dealing with the sunny day into the overheats. And one more body slam is going to kill Numel, so I'm rolling it all. If we do not finish the Tortoise right here, right now, I do believe we lose yet another Pokemon, but it rolls a 6, and that is going to leave the Tortoise shy, and that could cost us unless that was a high roll, and it wasn't, and we have lost the Numel. We went all in for it, and now Flannery is going to heal, and I just want to make sure we don't lose anyone else. Let's see here. We could go for the bubble beams. We are faster. And the sunny day is not up. So I'm going to kind of risk the Tentacruel here. I'm going to risk the Tentacruel because this bubble beam is going to do really good damage, I believe. And we just got to watch out for the crit body slam one shot. So 2 bubble beams comes down. This is beautiful. Torkoal's in range. No critical hit. No critical hit. It does get the paralysis, but we have the berry. Beautiful stuff. Akane on the brink. We're going to go for another bubble beam, but Flannery gets yet another hyper potion down. And now we are dead to another bubble beam. I'm sorry, we're dead to another body slam. So I think I'm going to pivot into Tsunamori. The Aron to eat that, no problem. Tiny damage. We are paralyzed. Shake that off like it's nothing. And I think we go headbutt because Mud Slap is super effective but doesn't do much. Yeah, we go headbutt. We should be fine. We are faster, and it's a critical hit, and we get the flinch. A lot of RNG there. Beautiful stuff. Just chipping the Torkoal down, and this could kill. This could kill. Oh my god, Torkoal. Sorkle is popping off right now. I do believe we can go back into Akane for a Bubble Beam as we outspeed, but my god, the damage is done. Akane drops back and finishes the ace. All of that because Numo could not roll an 8+ on the magnitude, and we end up losing yet another Pokemon. My gosh, that is absolutely brutal. That is so brutal. I mean, I wasn't foreseeing us using camera up as the run progresses, but that's still really tough. And then I'm glad we didn't lose the potential Tentacruel there, so Akane really clutch. And I have talked about how Aaron or Aaron or Agron having 4 times weaknesses to fighting and ground is really tough on top of that slow speed set. So we kind of knew what we were risking going through, and we still managed to save probably the better of the 4 Pokemon, better of the 6. So that's really tough stuff. But wow, this is just so much death this episode. It's really bad. A careless death, a death to Archie or Maxie, I should say, and then 2 deaths to Flannery. Wow. So we're going to take this and hopefully just head to Norman and just completely curb stomp him and try to redeem ourselves from this showing in this video. So with all of that being said, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.